Hey Reddit, thought I'd share a quick rundown of something super fundamental yet mind-blowing, cells. You know, those tiny building blocks of life we often forget about, but without which, well, there'd be no us. It's like finding out the secret ingredients to the universe's most complex recipe. Part 1, peeking into the tiny worlds. So, imagine trying to see something so small that billions of them could fit on the head of a pin. That's a cell for you. For ages, we had no idea they existed until some clever folks invented the light microscope back in the 17th century. It was revolutionary, letting us magnify things up to 1,000 times. But light has its limits, like trying to see individual dust motes in a dark room with just a flashlight. Then, in the 1930s, the electron microscope burst onto the scene. This bad boy uses a beam of electrons instead of light, letting us see details way smaller, like individual organelles within a cell, or even viruses. We're talking thousands of times magnification here, revealing incredible complexity. Ever wonder why cells are so tiny? It's all about efficiency. Cells need a large surface area relative to their volume to exchange materials effectively, like bringing in nutrients and expelling waste. Smaller cells simply have more surface area for their size. Think of it like this, a large block has less outer surface compared to a bunch of smaller blocks that add up to the same total volume. Our bodies even have cool adaptations, like the microvilli in our intestines, which are like tiny finger-like projections that dramatically increase the surface area for nutrient absorption. Part 2, the cell's VIP entrance, the plasma membrane. Every cell has a plasma membrane, which is essentially its outer boundary, controlling what goes in and out. It's not just a simple bag, though. It's built from a double layer of phospholipids. These phospholipids have a head that loves water, hydrophilic, and two tails that hate water, hydrophobic. They arrange themselves so the water-loving heads face the watery environments inside and outside the cell, while the water-hating tails hide in the middle. This structure is known as the fluid mosaic model because it's not rigid, it's quite fluid, with various proteins embedded within it. And those embedded membrane proteins? They're super important for many cell functions. Communication and signaling, how cells talk to each other. Nutrient uptake, getting the good stuff in. Waste removal, kicking the bad stuff out. There are different types of these proteins. Channel proteins form tunnels for specific molecules. Transport proteins move molecules across, sometimes needing energy. Cell recognition proteins help our bodies tell the difference between our own cells and foreign invaders. Receptor proteins bind to signal molecules, triggering a response inside the cell. Enzymatic proteins directly participate in metabolic reactions. Junction proteins connect cells, allowing adhesion and communication between them. Part 3, the two big families of cells. Life on Earth is broadly categorized into two main types of cells based on how their genetic material is organized. Prokaryotic cells. These are the OG cells, typically smaller and simpler in structure. Think bacteria and archaea. They don't have a membrane-bound nucleus, their single, circular DNA chromosome is coiled up in a region called the nucleoid. They also have a cytoplasm, the jelly-like substance inside, and ribosomes, for making proteins. Most have a cell wall for shape and support, and some even have a protective capsule. Many also have appendages like flagella for movement, fimbriae for sticking to surfaces, and conjugation pili for transferring DNA. These cells reproduce super fast through a process called binary fission. Eukaryotic cells. These are the more complex cells found in animals, plants, fungi, and protists. The key difference? They do have a nucleus that houses their DNA, and a bunch of other membrane-bound compartments called organelles. Eukaryotic cells reproduce through mitosis for growth and repair, or meiosis for sexual reproduction. Part 4, the inner workings, intracellular structures of eukaryotes. Eukaryotic cells are like miniature cities, each organelle having a specific job. Nucleus, this is the control center, enclosed by a nuclear envelope, a double membrane, with nuclear pores for passage of molecules. It stores our genetic information as chromatin, diffused DNA, protein, RNA. Before cell division, this chromatin condenses into visible chromosomes. Inside, the nucleolus is where ribosomal RNA, or RNA, is made. Ribosomes, these little factories synthesize proteins based on instructions from the nucleus. They can be free in the cytoplasm or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Endomembrane system, this is a network of membranes that helps organize the cell and transport molecules. It includes endoplasmic reticulum, ER, a complex system of channels and sacs. Rough ER has ribosomes attached and modifies proteins. Smooth ER is involved in lipid synthesis, like hormones, and detoxifying drugs. Golgi apparatus, a stack of flattened sacs that modifies, sorts, and repackages molecules from the ER for transport. Lysosomes, vesicles containing powerful digestive enzymes that break down waste and cellular debris. Vacuoles, membranous sacs, larger than vesicles, with various functions like storing water, aiding digestion, or storing pigments. Energy-related organelles. Mitochondria, the powerhouses of the cell, found in both plants and animals. They have a double membrane with inner folds called cristae. They break down carbohydrates to produce ATP, the cell's energy currency, through cellular respiration. They even have their own DNA in ribosomes. Chloroplasts, found in plants and algae, these are the sites of photosynthesis, using solar energy to make carbohydrates. They have a three-membrane system, including thylakoids where pigments capture solar energy. Like mitochondria, they also have their own DNA in ribosomes. Cytoskeleton, a dynamic network of protein filaments in eukaryotes that helps maintain cell shape and provides tracks for organelle movement. It consists of microtubules, intermediate filaments, and actin filaments. Cilia and flagella, these are structures made of microtubules, in a distinctive 9+2 pattern, that help eukaryotic cells move or move fluids past the cell. Cilia are shorter and more numerous than flagella. Part 5, outside the walls, extracellular structures. Cells don't just exist in isolation, they interact with their environment and each other. Cell wall, found in plants, fungi, and protists, and bacteria, but with a different structure, this provides support and strength. Plant cell walls have a primary cell wall, stretchy when growing. And sometimes a secondary cell wall, woody plants, with lignin for extra strength. Plasmodesmata are channels that connect plant cells, allowing water and solutes to pass through. Extracellular matrix ECM animal cells don't have cell walls, but they have an ECM, a meshwork of fibrous proteins, like collagen and elastin, and polysaccharides that provide support. Junctions between cells. These structures connect cells to form tissues. Adhesion junctions, like spot welds, connecting cells into flexible sheets. Tight junctions form impermeable barriers, preventing substances from passing between cells. Gap junctions allow direct communication between adjacent cells by joining their plasma membrane channels. Part 6. Cell reproduction, making more of themselves. Cells have to reproduce to allow for growth, repair, and to continue the species. Prokaryotes, like bacteria, primarily use binary fission, or one cell simply divides into two identical cells. If conditions are good, this can lead to incredibly rapid, exponential growth. Eukaryotes use more complex processes. Mitosis, this is how most of our body cells divide, creating two genetically identical daughter cells. It's crucial for growth, healing wounds, and replacing old cells. When this process goes wrong, it can lead to issues like cancer. Meiosis, this is a specialized type of cell division for sexual reproduction, producing gametes, sperm and egg cells, with half the number of chromosomes. Part 7, the odd ones out, viruses. And then there are viruses. They're often debated in the "is it alive" question because they're not actually cells. They're non-cellular and are obligate intracellular parasites, meaning they have to hijack a host cell to reproduce. Every virus has an outer capsid, made of protein, and an inner core containing either DNA or RNA. Some also have spikes for attaching to host cells and an outer envelope. They are much smaller than even prokaryotic cells. Viruses don't have many of the properties we associate with living cells, like a plasma membrane, cytoplasm, or metabolism. So there you have it, a crash course in cell structures. It's incredible to think about the complexity and organization that goes into something so tiny, yet so vital to all life. Pretty wild, huh?